There's a lot that's been said lately about the death of the large sedan as a family vehicle in Australia. Every time you open a paper or read a magazine, it's telling you that the large sedan's days are numbered. Well, Holden and Ford don't want to think so, but they've taken a slightly different tack when it comes to keeping the large sedan alive. Holden have stayed with a V6 engine, but Ford have gone completely different, and they've delivered a small capacity, turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. We happen to think that these are the best examples of the cars that the respective companies have ever produced. I'm having a look at the Falcon today. Tim's going to take a look at the Commodore. What do you think, mate?
Well, Holden haven't rested on their laurels either. The 3-litre V6 in this is E85 compatible. That's a good thing. It's also got direct injection, and it's supposed to be one of the most fuel-efficient V6s going around.
Let's get out on the open road and see how they stack up. In terms of power and performance, this vehicle's a real departure for Ford. There's no big lump of a 6-cylinder or an 8-cylinder under that bonnet. It's actually a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It's both a power and a torque story that makes this such a flexible engine. Just as important as the high-tech engine under the bonnet is the 6-speed auto. It's a fantastic gearbox, very, very smooth, shifts really well up or down through the gears, and it might have 1 or 2 less gears than some of the high-tech gearboxes we've seen recently, but it's still an excellent auto. Behind the wheel, the Falcon's a really enjoyable drive. The suspension settings are probably a little bit on the soft side for those of you who like a sportier ride, but the payoff for that is how well it soaks up really nasty roads and bumps and ruts and potholes. Now, because of that soft suspension setting, this might not perform outwardly as well on a racetrack, but the reality is it's a far more comfortable vehicle for the daily grind. I guess the value for money story is where these kinds of vehicles do get interesting, and that's probably why they've been so heavily challenged by smaller vehicles over the past 5 and maybe 10 years. Smaller vehicles offer a lot of equipment for less money. Now, this Falcon, as tested today, is in G6E trim, which is right up at the top end of the spectrum. You get sat-nav and leather, electric everything, climate control, aircon, all the bells and whistles. And this car rings the till at just over $46,000, which in a way is a lot of money, but it's also quite good value when you think of what you get. I guess the question that Ford has to answer is whether people are willing to part with nearly $50,000 for a large sedan. However, our test has revealed that at that price, this car is actually very good value for money. This Turbo Falcon is a very refined and well-engineered vehicle, and it's a beautiful car to drive. Now, if you're used to Ford Falcons and you've owned them before, well, there's not really any gremlins here. This car's as you'd expect. It's a large four-door family sedan. But the good news for you, if you're a Falcon fan, is that the buying has never been better. Sure, you could say that the price is a little expensive, but in an engineering, a technical, a driving sense, and of course fuel economy, this Falcon is as good as it's ever been.